on this gorgeous Tuesday in April. So welcome you guys to the Convert with Confidence Facebook group. I know, okay, I think now we're live. I'm not exactly sure when we go live. However, looks like we are ready to go on this Tuesday. So first of all, I want to welcome all the new faces to the Convert with Confidence group. This is the group for coaches and healers who are active in their business. However, maybe you're struggling to find your perfect clients, or you're struggling to find customers and clients that want to pay you what you really feel like you are worth. I know when I started my business as a hypnotist and a coach, I felt like I was at the mercy of my own customers and clients. And as we roll in here, for those of you tuning in, just let me know that you can hear me. Go ahead, give me a thumbs up, give me a yes in the comments if you guys can hear me and see me okay, before we get rolling into this really critical topic here of focus, awareness, and really where your attention is going and if it's serving you. So for those of you, can you hear me? Can you see me okay? Give me a yes, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that we are ready to rock and roll as soon as you guys let me know that you can hear me and see me okay. So just go ahead and let me know in the comments. Just drop a comment below. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me okay. And then we're gonna roll right into this this topic of mindfulness and focus. So just let me know. Can you guys hear me and see me okay? Let me know in the comments. Drop a comment. Let me know who's here. Let me know who's here today on the live stream. Let me know who's here, where you're from, what's your business. Like let's do some sharing here. Maria's here. We got Maria here. Who else do we have here on the line? Let us know where you are, who you are, where you're from, and what your business is. And can you guys, yeah, you can hear me okay? Perfect. Who else is here? We've got Maria. Who else do we have here on the line? Go ahead, just let us know here. Let's welcome everybody into the group. This is the group. This is Convert with Confidence. This is the group for business owners and, well, small business owners, for coaches and holistic healers who really want to stop hiding and start to put themselves out there with confidence, with authority, and with conviction so that you can scale your business to reach 5-figure months or even 6 figures this year. So a little more, nice to see you again. Hairdresser, awesome. So awesome. Got a lot of motivation in this group. I love it. So today we're going to talk about focus. And look, before we even jump in, I'm going to tell you guys, and this is what I tell all of my private clients, is that, look, if you do nothing else, if you listen to, hey, James, awesome to see you here. Awesome, awesome. Let's get the energy rocking and rolling this week. So here's what I tell all my private clients. If you listen to nothing else that I tell you, do this. Like you have to be attuned to what you're focusing on, because what you're focusing on is what is generating the results in your life, in your business, and in your bank account, right? What is Tony Robbins' quote? It's like where your attention goes, energy flows, right? And that's true, right? Wherever your attention goes, energy flows. And I want to add on another little bit here, and it grows. So are you compounding? What are you compounding in your life? Are you compounding debt? Are you compounding toxic relationships? Are you compounding pain and suffering? Are you compounding struggle, right? Or are you breaking through barriers? Are you compounding wealth? Are you compounding healthy, supportive relationships, both personally and in your business? Right? Are you compounding clients, healthy clients, your dream clients? Or are you compounding clients that you're bartering with, that you're feeling like you have to barter with, you have to beg to work with you, right? We don't want to compound that. And all of that is because you're giving your attention to the wrong people. So we're gonna we're going to dive into what this actually ends up looking like in your business. And I'm going to give you some actual examples of how this ends up sabotaging our businesses. Okay. But first, I want to get into what is focus. Because one of the biggest complaints as a hypnotist that I hear come into my office is, Lydia, I can't focus. I can't focus. And then people get paralyzed and do nothing. And I'm going to tell you the reason why people get stuck here, because the problem isn't that you can't focus, right? Like if I brought this hair clip up and I asked you to focus on it focus on it right now, right? What's getting in the way of you focusing on this? Nothing, right? Like I have your focus right now. So how is it that you can't focus when you're already focused? You see what I mean? So what the problem actually is here is not that you can't focus, is that you're not holding your focus to the right things, to the most resourceful things, right? It's not that you can't focus. You've mastered focus. Like you're focusing all the time on something. The question is are you giving the things that you want to grow your full attention and focus? Because when you aren't aware of what you're focusing on, when you're not aware, when you're not paying attention, when you're not in control of where your attention is going, it ends up sabotaging you in the end, right? It's like you're just running through life by default. It's like you're at the mercy of your focus. You're at the mercy of your attention span, and that's not how we want to live our lives. So what is focus actually? Oftentimes people think that if they're just looking at something, they're focused on it. Not the case. Like I can sit here and look at my hand, but am I 100% focused on it? No, because half my attention's here, half my attention is here. So what does true focus require? And here's how I learned this. So way before I started my business, I used to struggle with panic attacks. How many of you here have ever struggled with anxiety and panic attacks? How many of you here have gone through that fun, right? For those of you who know what I'm talking about, put me in the comments if you've been at war with your anxiety or panic, because I know that battle very well. And because I didn't take care of it early in life, it ended up compounding over time and catching up with me in my 20s. So here's what my therapist gave me. She was like, here, close your eyes and imagine yourself at a beach. Right? We get these techniques from people we go to, doctors and therapists, like count backwards from 10. Imagine, for people who are struggling with sleep, imagine sheep jumping over, what is it for sheep? Sheep jumping over a fence? Is that what it is? For those of you who have had trouble sleeping, imagine sheep jumping over something, a wall, a fence, I can't remember at this point. But none of this shit ever worked. And I'm about to tell you why. Here's the one principle I learned as a result of going through actual hypnosis training, was that it's not enough to have just one of your senses focused. One of your senses attuned is not focused. That's not enough. That's not enough to give you to be fully focused. So if you're just imagining sheep jumping over a fence, that's not going to be enough. That's not, because what's going to happen is your attention's going to go split and then go focus on your anxiety. This is what happens with a lot of my clients who struggle with anxiety. They're like, why isn't it working? Why can't I imagine myself at a beach or count backwards from 30 or 100? And why am I still anxious? It's because you're not involving two or more of your senses at the same time. This is what is missing. This was the the epiphany moment for a lot of my clients who struggle with sleep and anxiety, was just imagining yourself at a beach is not enough. Just counting backwards from 100 is not enough. You have to apply two of your senses, okay? Meaning, if you're going to count backwards from 100, imagine seeing the number 100, right? And then you say 99, and then you see the number 99. You need to fully focus two or more of your senses, right? Example is this, like if you're cooking and talking on the phone, you can do more than one thing at a time. You can multitask. Yeah, Linda, awesome to see you here. Awesome to see you here. James Lilmore, awesome for you guys tuning in. As you're tuning in, drop your name, drop what you do, and say hi as we're rocking and rolling here. So exactly, right? So what I learned, and it used to take me hours to calm down my panic attacks. It took me hours. And the piece I was missing was that I had to apply two of my senses at once, not just one, not just imagine sheep jumping. I had to maybe hear the sheep in my head as well, like bah, right? So that is true focus, is when you have two of your senses or more attuned. You could, at some point, you can have three of your senses attuned at the same time, right? Like if you're cooking, you're going to be seeing yourself, the thing you're cooking, you're going to be hearing sizzling, and you're going to be smelling it, right? That's three of your senses attuned, okay? But in order to rip your attention off anxiety, you got to refocus that attention on something else, okay? So that's really why most people struggle with anxiety, don't know how to turn it off, because they're not a master of what they're attuning their senses to. It's like you're not even aware of where your attention is going. And that's where mindfulness comes in, and mindfulness meditation. And it's, if you do nothing else from, this is what I tell my clients, if you do nothing else, do this. This is the core foundation of success. If you are not in control of where your attention is going in your business, here's what it ends up looking like. And I've gone through this myself. When you aren't aware and you're not paying attention to where your focus is going, you end up spending time with the wrong clients. Maybe some of you guys are doing that right now. You're entertaining people who, like, you feel like you have to pry them. You have to pry them open. You're trying to get them on a call. You're trying to get them to spend money on you, and you're just trying and trying and trying. And you think this wrestling is it's like you proving yourself, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? This trying to prove yourself by wrestling down people, trying to manipulate and convince people and all of this nonsense, and it just drains you, and it just creates negative messages for you. So if you're not paying attention to where your attention's going, you end up spending time on the wrong people, entertaining the wrong clients and customers that are not a good fit. Do you focus more on the money you don't have versus the money that could potentially be coming in? This was one thing I struggled with. Are you focused more on, oh, I'm broke, or I'm never going to have this, or you're looking at your bank account in fear, right? So are you focusing more on what you don't have versus what could potentially be coming in? This is something I see often. You're so busy focusing on being broke or struggling or not having so much money in your bank account, all of your attention's going there. And so why would you be taking action if all your action is going towards struggling and broke, right? You see what I mean? So here, these are all, honestly, guys, these are all the ways you end up leaving money on the table. All of these things I'm going through right now, these are just the tip of the iceberg, are ways you are leaving money on the table right now in your business. Okay? And let me know what resonates with you. If these resonate with you, drop me in the comments. The next one is you focus more on lack than abundance. And this goes back to money, right? Are you focusing on all the clients that you don't have versus actually looking out there and asking, how can I connect to them? How can I get in their face? How can I get them to know me? And instead you're sitting around oh, I don't have. Another way you're leaving money on the table. You see? Next thing here is, are you focusing on tasks that actually don't build business? This was something I struggled with when I first started my business. I was tinkering with my website. I was playing around with funnels, playing around with my ads, tinkering with my logo, messing with Canva during the day. Guys, Daytime is the time to interact. It's when people are awake, right? So are you leaving money on the table because you're focusing on all of these non-money making actions, and you're not doing the stuff that actually brings in the money, right? The creating relationships, creating rapport, building authority. See that? A lot of people think they can skip this step. A lot of coaches and healers think they can skip the step of building an authority and building an audience by just putting a link out there. Let me just book a call, book a call, book a call. And you think people are going to come flocking. No. In fact, one of my favorite quotes was, I can't remember where I heard this from, but one of my favorite quotes was, no person, service, or product is good enough to ever sell itself. So let that sink in for a minute. No person, place, or ever going to be good enough to sell itself. Okay? Which means you got to go out there, you got to build up your tribe, build up your authority, build up your audience, build up the trust. There was no other way around it. And a lot of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of healers end up skipping this step. Okay? When you're not focused on the right things in your business, you end up focusing on why you're not enough versus why you are enough. Does this sound familiar to you guys? Hi, Linda. Awesome. Counselor and a hypnotist in Texas. Awesome to see you here, Linda. Which one of these are resonating with you guys the most? As I'm going down this list, which one is calling you, right? Are you focusing on why you're not enough? Why you're not good enough? Like, here's all the reasons why I'm not good enough. I don't have this degree. I don't have that certification. I don't have that knowledge. I don't have this. I don't have that. Or are you focused on all of the reasons why you are enough? Why you are a good enough leader? Why you are good enough to charge what you really want deep down? Hey, Julianne. Rock and roll. Awesome to see you guys. Let's bring the energy in. Come on, it's Tuesday. We got almost a full week ahead. So awesome to see everybody here. And let me know which one of these are resonating you. Where can you shift your focus after this live stream? After we get off here, what is the first thing you're going to shift? Are you focusing more on lack than abundance? Are you focusing more on being broke than what's possible out there? On the amount of money that's out there? The amount of potential that's out there, right? Are you focused more on the amount of clients you don't have versus the amount you could create, right? Here was a big one. Here's a big one. Are you jumping from program to program to program and you're not following through? Woo woo. I love it, Linda. I love your energy. Love it. And Julianne, yep, trucking. Are you jumping from program to program to coach and you're like half-assing it? Like you're not really following through. And then you end up turning it around and saying the program wasn't good. The coach wasn't good. The coaching wasn't good. And you know what I learned was that it was never the program. It was never the coach. It was because I wasn't following through. That I didn't believe it would work for me. That I was going to be some kind of special case. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like I'm the special case. I'm the special one. This program is just not going to work for. Like it's going to work for everyone else. Like you can even see evidence of this working for others and you still single yourself out. Are you guys focusing on why this is not going to work for you versus on how this could work for me? Because look at all the evidence around me. Look at the people who are growing, all the testimonials, right? Yeah, James, I love it. So adding tools, like here's a great question, right? Like what is the tool that I need so that I can blank? What am I missing so that I can connect to customers or find my voice or whatever the gap is, right? You have everything at your disposal. It's just a matter of connecting to it, inside or outside. Inside or outside. Okay? If you're not focused in your business on the right things, it ends up looking like you jumping from program to program, from coach to coach to coach. You never finish, you never follow through. and then you wonder why you don't have what you have. You're focusing on why you're not enough versus why you could be enough, why you are good enough right now to lead, right? And here's the final thing I've noticed, well, actually two more things, is that if you're struggling to get the right clients, are you focusing on the right niche? Are you talking to the right customers for you, right? You cannot help everybody. You cannot help everybody. And be glad, right? Would you want everybody to depend on you? That's a lot of responsibility. I wouldn't want that. I would rather have the right people, the people I'm confident I can help depend on me, right? So are you people pleasing? Are so desperate for customers and clients that you're just telling them what they want to hear versus like, look, here's the line. Here's who I can't help. Here's who I can help. And you're really coming from a place of good intention for you and them, right? Great. And you know what? It's all energy, guys. You know, Julianne just said the word energy. Guess what? People aren't buying your product. They're not buying your service. They're buying your energy. And I quote Julie Malili for those of you who were on last summit, if you guys remember her. So credit goes to her. People are buying your energy, right? You could have the greatest, most effective product in the world that, you know, tens of thousands of people are getting success with. If you're showing up scared, anxious, doubtful, people aren't going to buy. You see what I mean? The final thing here, and just again, these are just a few examples of how we focus on the wrong things in our business that ends up keeping us stuck in lack. Okay. The last thing here I have is, are you focused more on blame rather than finding a solution? This was something I struggle with. Like, if this one program didn't give me this one thing, I would sit there and blame versus like, okay, how do I get that support, right? Because no program is perfect. No program is going to fit 100% of your needs. You may need to get help. You may need to get extra help. You may need to hire a VA. You know, if you're in a program that teaches you how to do Facebook ads, you may need to hire an expert to help you, right? Just because they teach you doesn't mean you may not need other help. You know, I have multiple coaches typically at once. Like, very rarely do I have one coach. I have two coaches right now, right? I never coachless. Like, I would panic if I didn't have any kind of leadership in my life, right? That's just where I am. Like, I have to have a coach or I'm just in the dark. And that to me is more scary. So are you focusing more on blaming your coach, blaming the program, blaming your customers and clients versus taking on, okay, where do I need to shift my focus so that I can connect to the solution? And the solution might be you need to talk to different clients. You're not talking to the right clients. Or maybe the solution is I need like specific help, right? I need specific help with my ads. I need specific help with my copy. I need specific help with my process, right? So instead of going into blame, you're focusing out like, what's the next step? What's the next step versus like, I am a victim. You see what I mean? So these are just a few of the ways in which our focus, if you're not paying attention to it, can end up sabotaging us. Because again, whatever you're focusing on, energy goes towards and it grows. So are you growing and compounding debt and fear and anxiety and lack and low quality clients and pain and suffering, right? Or are you compounding empowerment, excitement, like learning, healthy relationships, and exciting, healthy, supportive relationships with customers and clients and personal, right? Yeah, Julianne, I love how you brought that up, right? Like, a lot of us healers have been taught that like we're supposed to be broke, like we're supposed to struggle because we're healers, we're energy, we're hypnotists, we're Reiki masters. Like, we're not supposed to be 6-7 figures. Oh, well, guess what? I broke 6 figures, okay? Without any passive income, guys. I broke 6 figures without passive income. All straight, just coaching and doing and selling packages. That's it. So you don't need a team for this. You don't need fancy funnels to break 6 figures, okay? All right. So where you put your attention grows, And this, this is what I love about vision boards, guys. I don't know if any of you guys do vision boards, but let's talk about the solutions here. So vision boards are great because what happens when you create a vision board? Your senses become attuned to it, right? You put up pictures of what you want, and then that creates a feeling for you. So there's two of your senses kicking on, right? You see something, you feel something. And now your attention and you're being fully focused on it. That's why I love vision boards, okay? Next thing here is, like I said, oftentimes clients ask me, can you focus on two things at once? No. Nope. You can do two things at once. You can listen to music and cook. You can write an email and watch and, talk to your spouse, right? You can flip on a light switch and brush your teeth, right? But you can only be fully focused on one thing at a time in like blocks. And this is what I teach my clients, and this is what I highly recommend you guys start to implement. If you're like all over the place trying to kill multiple birds with one stone, you're putting half-ass here, half-ass there. And a great example of this is, are you taking discovery calls and enrollment calls from your car? This was a huge mistake I was making. Like, I would be in my car, pulled over to the side of the road, taking a client call, an enrollment call. And if I'm showing up half committed, half there, half present, why should I expect my customers to show up fully present? If you want your customers to be fully present with you, they're hearing you, they're seeing you, right? Not just, doing, cooking while you're on the phone or driving. I never talk to customers and clients for the first time who are driving, ever. I don't. I would rather get off the phone than conduct a strategy call when they're driving. What's the point? What's the point? They can't give you a credit card when they're driving. By driving, they've already communicated to you. There's no intention of making a purchase. You guys hear what I'm saying? So you want to show up with the intention, I'm going to be fully present if you want your customers and clients to be fully present. Okay? So vision boards are a great way to start to attune your senses, to remind your subconscious what you want, what you desire, right? Can't focus on two things at once. You can do two things at once, but you want to start working in blocks. Like, okay, I'm going to put 100% of my focus here. And then I'm going to put 100% of my focus here. And then I'm going to put 100% of my focus here. Like, I'm going to fully be present in writing this email. And then I'm going to be fully present in talking to this client. And then I'm going to be fully present in sending this Facebook message. And then I'm going to be fully present making this live stream, right? You're never doing half focus here, half. Stop doing that. Because people can feel that. And you're going to get back what you mirror, okay? So start to block out your day in chunks, in little 100% focus here, 100% focus here, 100% focus here, and build out your day like that. I have a calendar book where I map all this out. Highly recommend a physical calendar book. And then start to give your attention to, stop giving your attention to tasks and to customers and to people in general who are not serving you, who are not in alignment. Look, if you're getting customers that are telling you right from the get-go, like, I don't have any money, they've just told you, right? Now, you can be curious about that and investigate that, but recognize what's happening, right? They're already decided, like, I'm not going to invest, right? And you can be curious about that and ask questions. But if you're struggling and you feel like you're wrestling people, trying to pry people open, then your qualifying process is not been really set, and that's what you want to focus on. Okay? So what we're doing here is we're going down the shifts to make right now. We talked about vision boards are awesome. Start to block out your day in little blocks of 100% focus here. I'm going to be 100% focused on eating my dinner here. I'm going to be 100% focused on playing with my kids here. I'm not going to be on my phone and playing with my kids, right? Okay? Here's one of my favorites. Stop beating yourselves up. Do you know how much money and time you lose by beating yourself up? I mean, some people spend their whole lives just kicking themselves. And then they wonder why they don't have what they have. And what even happens after that is when I tell people, hey, stop beating yourself up, they start beating themselves up about beating themselves up. This was an eye-opener for me. I was like, oh, wow. We cannot talk this out. How many of you guys watching how much time are you spending beating yourself up? Ask yourself that right now. Are you spending like an hour a day on average? Half the day. Making yourself wrong, beating yourself up. I'm not good enough. Here's why I'm not enough. Here's why I shouldn't start this now, because I don't have any money. Again, that goes back to blame. You're blaming the money I don't have is why you can't get started, which is not the case. You know, when I first found my coach, I didn't have any clients to pay. I didn't have any clients when I hired my first coach, business coach. I didn't have clients, but I knew to get clients, I needed a coach. It was like that catch-22, right? It's like a double-edged sword. Well, I can sit here and blame the money I don't have, or I can sit here, make a decision to go get the money that I want so I can eventually pay her. And what ends up happening is I compounded the clients, compounded the money. Now, obviously, I'm paying her more than double what I used to pay her. I've been with her for several years now. And because I made that one decision when we first met 5 years ago, I had no money. I was funding my business out of my own bank account. I was funding it. I was negative 30 grand in my first year in business. I had no clients. And I was just trying to keep it alive by pulling it from my business, from my personal account. And when I finally met the right mentor, which I knew it was right because it was the time, I was like, what else am I going to do? And eventually, of course, now I'm making more than enough to pay back my coach. But I had to make that decision to allow that time to build that momentum to make it happen. You see that? That's where a lot of people get stuck, is they're focusing on, I don't have the money. Well, what if you started focusing on, how are you going to make the money? Not, I don't have it, but how am I going to make it? And then you'll start to make it. Yes, there is an initial building momentum period. It's not overnight results, right? But when you can allow that, when you're in a good place to allow, 2 to 3 months to really build that momentum and build up your niche and your processes, it's just a matter of time. If I had walked away from that coach because I didn't have money, I would not be here. I would be at a job I hate. So was it scary? Yes. Was it perfect timing? No. But why did I flip the switch on that coach? Because I knew I had an itch like I couldn't ignore. I knew I would regret it for the rest of my life if I didn't do something, right? Okay. So there's just a quick story there to hopefully inspire some of you guys, right? Because it's the money. We're focusing on lack, not abundance, not what we could bring. Great book to read, guys. If you're struggling with money, lack of money, abundance, great book out there called, give me a minute, I always get this wrong. The secrets of, I think it's called the Secrets of Getting Rich, something like that. If you go to Amazon, type in like secrets and rich, you're going to find a book come up. It's very short. This book is going to open your awareness to abundance of money. It's incredible how your perspectives will shift just by reading this book. So I think it's called The Secrets to Getting Rich. Don't quote me, but just Amazon that, okay? And finally, so we talked about stop beating yourself up. And I know I went on a rant there for a minute. So how much time and money are you leaving on the table by beating yourself up? So stop doing that, okay? The next piece here is to become aware of when you get distracted. What we're building here is mindfulness. We're building mindfulness around where your attention's going. Okay? If you're doing this right, if you're practicing, Julian, no, it's not Think and Grow Rich. You know what I'll do is I'll look it up and I'll stick it in the comments. I don't know why I can never remember this thing. I'm trying to look at my bookshelf. Pretty sure it's called The Secrets to Getting Rich, and I think it's got like a clock or something on the cover. But I'll find it and I'll put it in the comments because I can never get this right. So I'll find it, put it in the comments. So what we're building here is the mindfulness muscle, guys. If you're doing this properly, you're going to be having insights, not learning. Learning is not insight. Reading a book and getting a fact or a figure is not insight. Learning that there's 300 calories in a cupcake is not mindfulness. A lot of people think that's eating mindfully. Oh, this cupcake's got 300 calories. No. That is not mindfulness. That's learning a fact or a figure. Mindfulness is when you're aware inside. When you're aware of where your attention's going. When you're paying attention to why you're making a decision or why you're not. Or how you're feeling. This is mindfulness done properly. And I've recorded videos about this in the past, so check out my YouTube channel, Convert with Confidence with Lydia Catherine. You'll find more videos there or on this in this thread. And I'll talk more about mindfulness in the future. But proper mindfulness is self-awareness, not learning facts and figures. You know, I see people on comments in like relationship and dating groups, and they're like, oh, I just learned that my husband or boyfriend or wife or girlfriend is a jerk. This is not mindfulness. Learning a fact is not mindfulness. What is the insight that came out of that? What is the insight? What came out of your body? What did your subconscious teach you in that moment? You see what I mean? That's the difference. But we're not going to go down this rabbit hole here. I'll talk about it more in the future. Like I said, my YouTube channel has more about mindfulness there, how to build proper mindfulness, the proper mindfulness muscle. But what we're building here is mindfulness and awareness around your focus and attention. Okay? So here's what happens when distractions come up. You're going to be aware of distractions, guys. Distractions are always going to come up. They're always going to come up. And the pitfall I see coaches and other business owners fall into is that they make the other person wrong. They make their kids wrong for distracting them. They make their pets wrong for distracting them. They make their spouse wrong. Like, what's wrong with you? Can't you see that I'm in the middle of something? That's what that sounds like. When it's not about that at all. You allowed your attention to wander and go and leave. Okay? So true focus is when distractions are happening around you. It's like the metaphor of a rock in a stream. There's chaos going on around you. There's movement around you, but you're focused, even with the chaos. And really focus is hypnosis in general. Hypnosis is focus. Focus is hypnosis. When you can master your focus, you will immediately know when you're putting the attention on the wrong things, right? Rip your attention off the things that aren't serving. Focusing on, I don't have enough clients. You need to do in order to create money, right? And behind the questions you ask, you're going to get a different set of actions and behaviors. And in the end, it's your actions that drive your results in your business, in your bank account, in your relationships, in your health, and everywhere else in life. But all of your actions and behaviors come from what you're focusing on. And this is the step most people miss. Is how do I change a behavior? How do I change a bad habit? Well, what are you focusing on? What are you asking yourself? Are you focusing on pain and struggle? Because guess what? You focus on pain and struggle, guess what you're going to have? Pain and struggle. If you focus on pleasure and gratitude, what are you going to have, guys? Drop it in the comments. If you focus on pleasure and gratitude, what are you going to have more of? It's that simple. If you focus on how do I make more money, then what's going to happen? You're going to be getting insights. How do I make more money? Right? Versus what's wrong with people and why am I broke? You can come up with answers for that, or you can come up with answers for how do I get more clients? How do I get more high ticket clients? How do I get more of my perfect clients? And you can generate that. Okay? So, look, guys, of all my live streams, this is going to be the most important one. Because your focus, what you focus on and who, is going to determine your quality of life and who and what's in it. And if you don't build awareness around where your attention is going, then you are at the mercy of your unconscious, of your nervous system, and of your emotions. And you're going to be asking the question of why can't I focus? Which is very a victim. I'm a victim of my own attention. Do you want to be a victim of your own attention, or do you want to be a master of your attention? Yep. Because distractions are going to come up, guys. Fears are going to come up. I'm not telling you they're not going to be there. Fears are going to come up. Anxieties are going to come up. And then what do? Are you going to go down that rabbit hole? Or are you going to stay focused? And this, guys, this is really, I mean, imagine going the rest of your life and you've given your attention away and energy and time to people who don't care about what you have, don't take you seriously, have nothing to give, nothing to offer you. Maybe you're doing that already. This is it. It's not about what's the next strategy, what's the best strategy. What is the strategy you're focusing on? Are you even focused? Are you even focused on the strategy? Or are you focused on fear? Are you focused on why it's not working or what needs to change so that it is working? And one's going to be a victim, one's going to be blame. The other is going to be, how can I make this work? What needs to change? What resources do I need to pull in? Right? And you know, one of the biggest questions people are going to ask at the end of their lives is, why did I choose to spend so much time focusing on X? I hear this question often. I see it plastered on Facebook. When relationships end, why did I stay in that relationship for so long? Right? Why did I struggle so long in my business? Why did I wait so long to start it? Why did I choose, why did I wait 10 years to finally leave my job? Do you know why? Because you're focused on the wrong things. You're focused on lack and fear, and not focused on what could potentially be there, the abundance out there. Julianne, I love your comments. Master your attention. Yeah, I mean, think about it like this, guys. When it comes to sales, you're not really talking them into working with you. If they're with you in the first place, they need something. They want something that you have, right? You're empowering them to advocate for themselves. They're coming to you. They don't have what you have because they're not advocating for themselves. And it's up for you not to convince them, not to hope, not to talk them into anything. Talk them into listening to themselves. If you're going to talk them into anything, talk them into listening to themselves and why they're on this call with you in the first place. Why are we here? right? Talk them into that. And that's how you build trust. That's how you build trust with customers, is when you empower them. Okay? Yeah. Linda, thanks for sharing. Yeah. I love it. So I know this was, there's so much here, so much juice and material here that I can only get to in, 45 minutes. But if you're looking for more help with this, and you're asking the question of like, what am I focusing on that's keeping me broke, struggling with the wrong people, stuck at my job, or not finding, working too much, working too hard, trying to prove myself. If you got value out of this live, drop the word value in the comments. If you're looking for more one-on-one support, and if you want to find out if what I have is a good fit for you, I know I can't help everybody, and I'm not here to help everybody, but I know I can help some of you. So if you want to find out if what I have is a good fit for you, and we can find out on a short, quick call, drop the word help in the comments, and I or a team member will reach out to you over the next 24 to 48 hours. Before Thursday, I will be leaving for Arizona on Thursday. So one of us will reach out before then. But if you're looking for more one-on-one support, you're tired of wasting your time, wasting your energy on the wrong people, trying to convince people, focusing on being broke, you're running your business, you're working overtime, you have too many clients maybe, but you're not charging enough. So you're working like, I used to see 30 clients a week. Now it's like 5. And I have time to learn and recharge, So if you're looking for more one-on-one support, drop the word help in the comments. If you got value out of this, drop value. And, guys, listen to this live again. I cannot even put into words how important your attention and focus is, and really mastering the art of being in charge of your focus, being in charge of your attention. Because when it's going to drift off, it's going to drift off to fear, right? It's going to drift off to anxiety. That you recenter, that you get that thing recentered. That's right. I'm here to make 6 figures this year. I'm here to find people who are going to listen to me, who want what I have, who are motivated, who are committed. And I'm not going to steer from that. Okay? Love you guys. It's my voice is getting ready to go, so I'm going to hop off here. But for those of you watching the replay, again, if you're looking for more one-on-one support, drop help. If you got value, drop value. I'm excited about next week's live. It's going to be just as good. So guys, tune in. Stay tuned to the video. Stay tuned to the group. Drop your comments and questions in the group. We're here to help each other, answer each other's questions. This group is a community, not just a TV set. Drop your questions to the group. Go check out the Sales Supercharger training. It's free upon entering in the group if you haven't already. Go check that out. That series is going to be life-changing for you guys struggling with sales. Okay? Go check out the free Sales Supercharger training. It's up in the welcome post of the group that you were tagged in upon entering. And I'm going to see you guys next week. Drop your comments. I want to hear what you think below in the chat when you guys are replaying this. So talk to you guys later this week, and I'll see you in the group.